Hey guys, it's Karsh from OneTap. So today we're going to be talking about how to check in with individual QR code passes. These are not public QR code passes or public QR codes as we call them. Those are the ones that you find by hitting the share check-in link button, or if you hit a share button on the list. Those are the public ones. So those are the one. These QR code passes basically create the self check-in process on the visitor's phone, and that's kind of delegates all the work. But today we'll just focus on the private side. What that means is like it's similar to like those tickets that you get, for example, at a concert or like employee ID badges and stuff. So here's how this works. So first you want to create a list, you want to create a profile. That's pretty standard. And as soon as you create a profile, you're automatically going to see that the profile, for example, has a QR code pass that was issued to the profile. So for example, if I go over here, if I create one by hand, or if I drag and drop an Excel sheet, same thing. For example, if I go ahead and create John Doe, as soon as I hit the create button, if I click on John Doe's profile, I'm going to see the pass right there for John Doe. This is the default pass that's issued. You're always able to revoke this pass. So for example, if you're like, hey, we don't like, for example, I just want to change the pass, you can always revoke it. You can always delete it, and you can always create like new passes. So for example, like John's default pass, and set an expiry date as well. So for this demo right now, we're just going to keep it simple. We're just going to use the basic pass that was already created. If you want to do some more advanced stuff, you can always go to the profiles tab, passes tab, and you can always like upload an Excel sheet or select the profiles from the list and give them custom passes. The reason why you'd want to do custom passes or group passes here is if you have an event and maybe you just don't want that person to always have it. It's only for like a one-time thing, or it's only for like a specific meeting, etc. You can always do that. So for example, you can say like, okay, well, this is only like for group A's pass, right? Or maybe event tomorrow's meetup. So what will happen is that like you can put an expiry date right here, and you can select all the profiles that are on there. I'm just gonna, for example, just do two right now. And then, or you can just like literally drag and drop an Excel file, and it's going to take all those names from there, and it's going to, basically create a profile if it doesn't exist. If it does exist, it'll create a pass for them. And then you can always select lists that, that this pass is valid for. But just to keep things simple for the demo, we're just going to go ahead and like, just for an example right here, we're going to create a group pass. And as soon as I hit the view passes button, I should be able to see those two passes that were created for those people. And if I go back to the profiles tab, if I go to Anthony and Anderson, if I click on view passes, view all, I should be able to see that group pass that I created, see tomorrow's meetup, and the default one. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and delete this whole group, and we're just gonna go ahead and take the default pass, for example, for Anderson, and we're gonna send that pass to Anderson. So the way it'll work is that each time you create a pass, like that pass is gonna get a public link. So this, what I just clicked on right now, the public link, is what the visitor would see. So this is for the visitor. It's like their invite. It's like their public page where they can just see their pass. They can add it to Apple Wallet, save it as a photo, or just keep it saved on their phone. So not to make it confusing, that link that just opened up, this is all on the visitor side. And this right here is what we see as the admin, because we're logged into the dashboard right here. And we can hit the share button right now, and we can go ahead and send this pass. So I'm going to go ahead and send it to my email. And then if I open up my email, I should be able to see that pass. And once you get that email, this is what the email is going to look like. It's going to say it came from onetapcheckinmail.com. It's going to say your QR pass, and it's going to say access this pass. And it's going to take that person to the same exact link that we opened up, which is that person's pass. You can add it to Apple Wallet and all that. And then so to go back and continue, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump on the iPad app, and we're going to show you two different ways that you can scan passes. One in the behind the desk mode as an admin. The other one is the kiosk mode, where the visitors can like do the self check-in process with that pass. So we got the kiosk, so we got the iPad app running right here, and this is on the behind the desk mode. And we got the list right here, just called training camp, okay? And so this is the behind the desk mode, and this is designed for admins. So if the admin wants to scan a pass, what they would do is they would just hit this button right here, this QR code scanner button, and it's going to bring up a camera, okay? You want to give it camera permissions, and this is where you're going to point it at the QR code, and you can scan it. So I'm going to pull up the QR code on my phone, and I'm going to scan this. We can go over here, and we can change the camera to the front. Change the orientation, and as soon as we point it at that camera, we're going to see that the pass automatically pulls up for Anderson. And there we go. We can just scan it and we can go ahead and we can just go ahead and click the check-in button. And there we go. We've added Anderson onto the training camp list because he wasn't there before. And we've also scanned the pass. And if we go back here and we reload the page, should be able to see that Anderson was added to the list and it was checked in at 3:48 p.m. Now let's do another example where we want to do a check-in on the kiosk. So we go over here, we go over to the kiosk. And for this example right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do this for Brittany. So follow the same process again, copy the public link. I'm just going to send this to myself on my iPhone. And this is typically what you're going to see on the iPhone. You're going to see once you click on the add to Apple Wallet, it's going to save it here as an Apple Wallet pass. And then what you can do is on the iPhone, you can just double tap like you can get to the Apple Wallet, and then afterwards you can access the OneTap pass. So as an example, I have Brittany's pass right here. Same thing that I have pulled up right here. So what we'll do is on the kiosk side, we want to enable the QR code pass scanner. By default, this does come enabled, but in case you don't see it, you go to the check-in options and you do pass scanner and you enable that because you need that little tap here to scan button, or you can click on this green text right here, scan QR code. So we're going to tap on this button right here, and again, we get the camera orientation, the front or the back, and then as soon as we point the Apple Wallet QR code pass at it, in this case, Brittany is going to do that. That's what the visitor does. We're going to see all the lists that are coming up. So we're going to see that training camps right there. We just said register and check in because Brittany wasn't previously on that list. If she was on that list, it's going to say check in only because the reason why is because that Brittany was never there before. And in order to check out, you just do the same thing with the QR code passes. You go to the settings, you say checkout enabled for the list. So we enable the checkout first. And then what we can do is we can just go back to the kiosk mode. We're already in kiosk mode. And then we hit the scan pass button. And we can go ahead and Brittany can go ahead and scan her pass and see that button right there says checkout. The other thing that you can do is you can pin this to a specific list. So instead of having to select the list all the time, just go to settings. And this is we cover this more in depth on the kiosk mode video, but you can always pin it to a specific list. That way the visitor does not have to choose. And then when we scan the QR code pass, what we literally do is we just scan Brittany comes and scans her pass and it's going to say check in again because it was already checked in. And then basically we can customize the kiosk and the instructions and all that. And then the same thing here with for example, another pass that I have for Anderson. This person has never checked out, so it's going to say check out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The iPhone flow looks exactly the same as the kiosk behind the desk because the iPhone does not support the kiosk mode because that's for self check-in for visitors. So this button is pretty much the same on the iPhone, and then the flow is exactly the same. And you can also use the pass scanner over here on the dashboard. It pretty much works the same way. But primary ways that people use it is on the iPhone, either the admin behind the desk mode or the visitor side on the kiosk. And as soon as you check in, you're going to be able to see all the data right there, where the check-in took place, as well as all the information about the timestamps. So hopefully this video was helpful on how to use private QR code passes to do check-ins and checkouts and how to share private QR code passes. I guess the last thing that's left is that whenever you create a group pass, for example, for an event, you can mass send them to people because that's also a common question we get. You can always hit the send passes and it will automatically tell you that, hey, we don't have the email addresses for these people. As soon as you go ahead and import the email addresses for those people on their profile, for example, if I do karsh.com, it's not going to say that there anymore. It's not going to say that I don't have an email address on file. So then what will happen is that you can send them to people from the screen right there, and it will give you the activity status right there so that you can see that the passes were delivered. You can also export them in PDF format, which is kind of cool because you can look at all the different, you can, for example, you you can cut them out and you can paste them on different badges or paste them in different places. The other thing that you're able to also do is export them as an Excel file. I'm going to talk more about that, but this is what the PDF passes look like. And to export them as Excel, what you're going to get is you're going to get a little report. In the contents of the report, we can see that this is the profile name. All the custom fields are there. And then we also see the URI. This is the pass. This is the data that's used to encode the pass and when the pass was created and when it expires and stuff. So this is the website link for that pass. So we can see that this is the same link that we kind of opened up. And here's the link to the image. So the reason why we do all this is because you can actually take some of the printers and stuff like that can take this data and they can essentially create labels and stuff out of it. For example, if you take that link and you paste it on there, you can get the QR code image. And you can also like, for example, take this URI and you can print like custom labels and stuff. There will be more instructions and more videos coming on that, coming talking about that later. But at the moment, we just export this like in a standard format so that the label printers, batch printers, etc., can work with it.